So they are a nonprofit that people have a past.
Hey!
How's it going, Katie?
Good, how are you?
Good,
Come on
good.
in. You can kind of see what was left down here. A lot of tools, just to kind of spice them up a little bit, make it look a little homier.
And when she say new, not new, it's, from another house or donated, probably?
Yeah. Basically, I was introduced to Weld in 2019. Had just gotten out of treatment for like the 5th or 6th time. Life has drastically changed in 4 years.
Hey guys, Jimmy Tang here, standing in front of a new property that we acquired in Seattle. As a builder and a developer, we run into issues of having our house empty while during the time we get permits, which can take from 9 months to a year and a half. And so during that time, it's hard to get somebody in, especially with the tenant laws in Seattle. So if you happen to get a uncooperative tenant, and you give them a notice that, hey, well, we'd like you to move out when you're about to get the permit, but that's the risk we take as builders. So fortunately, I ran into this program with my friend Ethan. It's called Weld. So they are a nonprofit that people have a past, either they're felons and stuff like that, that they're going through rehab and they need transitional housing. That's where, we are able to provide them with the house. We still pay the mortgage, but they pay the utilities. But the best part is, that they'll take care of the house, keep the squatters away. And then when we're ready to start construction, we just have to give them like a, 30-day or more, notice so that they can find the next housing that they need to move to. But this has been a really beneficial partnership between us. So I just want to get the word out so that, other builders or other people that have house sitting, that rather you have someone that can watch your house and, make it a positive impact on the neighborhood than just letting it sit vacant. So we're going to go inside and meet one of the Weld workers and give you a quick tour of the property condition, of what they accept, and what they don't accept. And so you can see if your house qualifies or not. And we just have a quick tour and then, we'll chat about the program a little bit more. So come on.
Hey!
How's it going, Katie?
Good, how are you?
Good,
come on in.
Can you give us a quick tour of the house?
So when we got in the house, actually it was pretty empty. There really wasn't anything in here.
Yeah.
We brought some new appliances in. We brought a new fridge in, a new stove in, painted the wall out here, washed, scrubbed, and painted the cupboards just to kind of spice them up a little bit, make it look a little homier.
And when she say new, not new, it's, from another house or donated, probably?
Yeah, we pulled it from our last house that we were in.
Katie, can you tell us how Weld started and, maybe the history of it?
Yeah, a little bit of it at least.
Yeah.
So Amy King, who's the founder, was telling us a story at our leadership retreat back in September about how her and her husband had a construction company and they were hiring guys that were getting out of prison and they were felons, and they'd show up at the job site the next morning and these guys were sleeping in their cars. It was like, why, they're like, we don't have anywhere to go. She's like, well, there's light bulb came on, right? Like, I have an idea. So they ended up bringing a few of these guys in this house and like turning these houses into, that before they were torn down, into like a transitional housing space, so they had a place to live and they could also work. And then we have expanded. I think we have 92 members total in housing right now.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. So we have a lot of members, women's and men's housing. You can kind of see what was left down here. We did bring a truck in and have a bunch of guys here to help. And we loaded up a couple trucks full, cleaned out around the furnace to make it safe. Every house is different. I've worked for Weld for a year and a half. I lived in the program for 18 months back in 2019. We walked into some properties that are completely ready to move in and others that it's taken a full crew, where all the housing members kind of come together. We clean it out, take it to the dump, and get it ready to be lived in.
Let's see the rest of the house.
Yeah, come on up.
Yeah. How big is the organization?
There's probably roughly 28, or between 28 and 31 employees.
And are there volunteers as well?
Yeah, we have people that volunteer, and like our members help out with moves and when we move houses and stuff. But we kind of have branches out, so there's like a Weld Works team, a housing team, diversion team. We offer so many opportunities now when you walk into Weld, and it's not something that you don't have to access our housing services to access the rest of our services. The whole thing, that's why I'm like working with the women, because I lived it and I did it, you know? Yeah, they called me and they're like, come work for us. And I was like, the organization that saved my life, it was kind of a no-brainer. My life has drastically changed in 4 years. Basically, I was introduced to Weld in 2019, had just gotten out of treatment for like the 5th or 6th time. Was still living in what we call the trap house, which is where squatters come into houses and use them for drug houses. That's what we were doing. And I had nowhere to go, and I didn't know what to do. So I went to recovery meetings like they suggested, and I met somebody that told me about Weld. I called them. The lady that was in my position at the time met me at a Safeway up the street, told me to pack my bags, and I never looked back. And that was 4 years ago. Like totally changed my life. Got my kids back in my life. Like Weld literally saved my life.
So was it hard at first?
Yes, totally awkward, uncomfortable. I didn't like it. I didn't want to go to meetings. I didn't want to live with other women. I didn't, know what I got myself into, but I just didn't know another way to live. Like it was kind of like where you're on the streets for so long, you kind of get hopeless and you don't see a way out, right? Like I hadn't seen my kids in over 10 years. Wow. Now I have my kids back.
I mean, when you first went into the housing and stuff, I mean, how did you, you were saying, I didn't want to live with other people. What got you through it, to push you through it, to say like, I got to make it through? And
I guess the gift of desperation. Like I was real sick and tired of being sick and tired. And like the streets were not working for me anymore. Like there was nothing that was working. And coming into a community where I was held accountable. So like the standard when I got into Weld was like I had to go to 3 meetings a week. I had to drug test twice a week. I had to be in the house every night by 10 p.m. I had to learn to live in a community, to keep my room clean, just the basic tools that you kind of lose while being on the streets. And the support I had, it was like a family that I hadn't had, right? Like as I hadn't had my family around in so long. So it was like people that spoke a language that I understood, but also were doing something with their lives. They had something I wanted.
All right, Katie, thanks for sharing the story about Weld. And if builders or other people who need transitional housing or just need those services, where can they find more information about Weld? Yeah,
absolutely. WeldSeattle.org. Check out all our information, our website. Everything is located on the website.
And it's also on social media?
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
So Facebook, probably Instagram.
Yep.
Look them up and reach out. You guys need help, or you guys need, or how you have a house for people to keep it safe from squatters and everybody. So yeah.
We got you.